is planning to step down from his position before his term expires next year in 2021. Now, the Brazilian official is on his second term, having held the post since 2013. And this comes at an especially difficult time for the global trade body, as it has been struggling to contain a series of crises even before the pandemic disrupted global commerce. Well, shipping giant AP Maersk is warning of a sharp drop in global container volumes, and this is as the coronavirus pandemic hits demand worldwide. The warning comes as the company released its first quarter results, showing a 23% increase in core profits. But by the end of March, it had idled almost 10% of its fleet. Now, to give you a broader outlook on the shipping industry, Jayendu Krishna, director from Drury Maritime Advisors, joins us. Jayendu, welcome. I won't get you to comment specifically on a company, as you're not mandated to do so, but it is interesting that they managed to post profits in an otherwise very troubling global backdrop here with COVID-19. Now we're handling that with the logistics industry bleeding. And before that, of course, the trade war. Overall, what is your assessment of how the shipping industry is going to be able to pick up the pieces from this point on, with both of these, in a way, being linked politically by the US?
Sure. Yes. I think the first quarter, as you said, Adam, was great for Maersk. Not only Maersk, but also for other shipping lines which announced results a couple of weeks ago, one being the COSCO's arm, OOCL. So all the giants are having great results, and that is partly because in first quarter this year, there was only China was affected. It was not really a pandemic, so to say. A pandemic was announced by WHO only in middle of March. And so we are really yet to see the impact of pandemic on the shipping. And I would think that you would see impact only in the second quarter result, which will come sometimes in July or so. So yes, I think we are yet to see the worst in terms of financials.
Right, and when you take a look and you cast a gaze across, the shipping industry and looking at the major players anywhere from Europe with Maersk and also CMA CGM to here in Asia, China, COSCO, and up in Japan, Nippon Yusen, who would you say, which countries or companies have the more fortified balance sheets to weather this COVID-19 and potentially trade storm?
Well, majority of them will be in a problem, I would say. If you see the latest announcements or some of the reports, we see the state coming for a rescue. For example, CMA CGM got about $1 billion loan with 70% being guaranteed by the French government. We hear of similar stories in Korea, in Taiwan, etc. So state support has really come to the rescue of the shipping line. So I guess given that there is expected to be, as per Drury estimates, the demand will probably decelerate by about 20% roughly in the coming quarter. And with 20% fall in the demand, I would think that it will be hard for anyone to be not affected. And therefore, support from financiers, banks, etc. will be required.
You know what we tend to see when industries go through tornadoes or storms, so to speak, is at the end of it, what happens is, of course, this consolidation effort, right? We saw that back in 2016 through the failure and bankruptcy, biggest bankruptcy with Hanjin Shipping in South Korea, and then, of course, the sale of Neptune Orient Alliance to CMA CGM. Did that sale not pay off for them? Because, I mean, they were certainly touting the benefits of the deal, to merge the synergies of the two companies together, and yet they still needed some state support.
You're right. So this consolidation has been taking place, but I would say that the major consolidation already happened. And there has also been alliances formed amongst the shipping lines. But this is an unprecedented event which has taken place. We have not seen such a dramatic fall in the demand, given that none of us are driving, none of us are flying, none of us are buying anything more than our usual day-to-day items. So why will commodities move? there is a massive supply chain disruption. So it's very hard for the shipping lines to manage in such a scenario when there is such a dramatic demand destruction to the tune of 20-25%.
Mm-hmm. And can you paint
and they
us
have, in fact, to manage. Sorry.
Right. Sorry, just quickly before we go, Jayendu, before, of course, the shipping industry went into crisis, what led to that point also was this huge excess of capacity in terms of the number of new ships coming into operation. What's the state of play with that right now? I mean, are we seeing more capacity, less capacity, more new or less new builds?
Sure, the capacity certainly has been increasing. There is it's not unabated, essentially. But what shipping lines have done is they have reduced the capacity. If you look at the head haul or the main trade routes, they have cut the capacity by about 15%. And what they are also doing is that they are doing what is called blanked sailings or cancelled sailings. If you were to look at first 4 or 5 months of 2019 versus what is happening this year, there is a reduction, the dramatic increase in the blanked sailings or cancelled sailings from 104 last year to 281. So that's a massive increase in cancelled sailings. And that actually has come to a rescue for a lot of shipping companies.
Jayendu, we've got to leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to us today about the state of the shipping sector there. Jayendu Krishna, Director of Drury Maritime Advisors. Right, we're going for a quick break. Stay with us on Asia.